the number one comment I hear from women is something to the tune of, I feel broken. I just don't look good in my clothes. Nothing ever fits me. What's wrong with me? And because I've been doing this so long, I've gotten to see a lot of patterns that exist. And I have determined that there's a little dirty secret that nobody talks about the ripple effect and the connection between our style and our success. So, average research right now is showing that we spend a year of our lives standing in front of a closet trying to make a decision on what to wear. 287 days standing there, not leading, not building, not creating, and absolutely not making memories with our loved ones, but trying to decide what to wear. I had to reread this data twice because I thought there's no way that this is logical. With all the brilliant, capable, powerful women that I know, that we are wasting that much time standing in front of our wardrobe. So what causes this? This is that sneaky ripple effect. You see, body image is actually the foundation of your style choices, and I'll get into that a little bit. But body image feeds into your style confidence, which feeds into how willing you are to be visible, which feeds into your opportunities available, ultimately impacting your income. So let's talk about it. See, I gotta change my notes. Give me a moment. So, I want you to hear these two scenarios I'm about to describe to you. You can nod your head if you want, silently make a note if you can relate. Scenario number one. You get up in the morning, you walk to your mirror, and you go, huh? This can't be me. Where did these wrinkles come from? Where did this weight come from? When did I start looking so tired? And somewhere down the diatribe of your flaws, you start to feel a little shame, maybe a little less worthy. And you pick yourself apart, you scan your flaws, and then guess what? You immediately go into your closet to pick out something to wear for the day, and you look at a room full of clothes, and you go, oh, I got nothing to wear. Anybody relate to those moments? I can, I've done them all. Whoops, now I'm losing notes. See, it's gonna be a whole dance. So here's the thing. These two experiences are completely connected. One activates the other, and it often leaves us feeling stuck. Because in that moment, we are actually trying to solve an identity problem with a wardrobe solution. I call this the identity gap. We'll get more into that in a second. But you see, women have been sold a lie. We have been told that confidence is just one purchase away. One outfit away, one procedure away, one cream away. The beauty industry profits when we believe that we are a problem to fix and we are never finished solving it. Now I'm going to take this moment for a quick caveat, because there's a lot of brilliant women in this room that work in the beauty industry. This is not shade on you. I am obviously not anti-establishment. I want you to identify what is actually intentional for you, and that's the gap, okay? So, getting back to that, no tomatoes, please. That card just is gonna stay there. So, here's the lie we've been sold, right? But I want you to stop and ask, what if, in fact, we are spending billions of dollars and spending countless of hours in our closets, but we're not really broken? What if you're simply disconnected with yourself, and therefore you feel the need to go chase these other things when you're not even aware of what you really want? So, I know this very personally. As she mentioned, I've been doing this. This is the graveyard for notes. So I've been doing this for over 20 years, and my fashion journey actually started as an international model. And I say this with the most humility and gratitude for the opportunity, but I hated it. I spent 2 years doing this, and I chose to walk away. And I took myself to fashion school, which is ultimately what I wanted to do. And I loved it. Everything started to click. And because I happened to live in Hollywood at that time, I started getting some really unique opportunities and ultimately found myself out of school working in TV and film, doing wardrobe and costume. I thought this was going to be my forever career. I loved it. I loved everything about it. Simultaneously, my health was crashing out. One of the main symptoms that the world around me could see was I put on weight, and I put on a lot of weight really fast. I gained 100 pounds in less than a year. I went from a size 0 to a size 20 in 9 months. And guess what? As my size went up, my self-worth went down. Yes. Because somewhere down the road, I had bought into that lie that my value was decided by my reflection in the mirror. And guess what? I started to hide. I'd go into my closet in the morning and I would sit on the floor and sob. Because my clothes made me feel less than. And then I would dress to hide and I'd go into work, and the worst part was I wasn't just hiding in my closet, I was hiding at work. I stopped speaking up for myself and sharing my ideas, and worst of all, I ended up sabotaging my own budding career because I just quit applying for jobs. I didn't think I was worthy of it. That was my identity gap. And ladies, your story may or may not have been extreme as mine. I guarantee you have all felt that moment where you were really starting to question your value. When your external image doesn't match your internal reality, it creates friction. And the thing is kind of like mine did, life, and we don't always get to say in the evolution, right? And so we get promotions, we change jobs, we have babies, our bodies evolve, menopause. Hello, anybody else dying in here? Whew, okay. But the reality is that's all totally normal, even if our culture doesn't want you to think so. And most of us don't recognize the impact that it's having on your self-image. That little gnawing thing in the back of your brain that runs on a loop, telling if I could just buy one more thing, it'll fix me. If I could just lose a little more weight, it'll fix me. The fix has to start here. You see, your identity in your closet are filled with pieces from previous chapters of your life. The corporate version, the people-pleasing version, the version of you desperate to fit in when you no longer feel the need to, maybe. The version that you thought you needed to lose 20 pounds for. And every morning, you are trying to dress a version of yourself that no longer exists from a wardrobe that no longer serves you. No wonder we are spending a year in the closet trying to decide what to wear. Your wardrobe isn't set up to give you success. The identity gap can be really sneaky. You might not even realize it. But let me tell you how it shows up. Let me know if you can relate to this moment. I call it the wardrobe, whoops, sorry, we're gonna come back to that, actually I moved my slides. I call it the wardrobe war zone. It's that moment in the morning when you've left the mirror with the flaws in the back of your mind, you go in your closet and you go, I got nothing to wear. Yet, you actually still have to get dressed because you have to go somewhere. So you put on that outfit and you look in the mirror and you go, ugh. You try outfit number 2, it's not much better, so you try a third option. 5 outfit changes later, your bed is covered in clothes, you are running late, you are leaving frustrated, and you are questioning your worth before you leave the house. Anybody ever feel that moment? And the cruel irony is, the same industry that created the insecurity sells you the solution. Don't like your body, buy something. Feel invisible? Buy something, fix something. Feel behind? Guess what? You can buy your way out of it. But it never actually solves the root issue. The majority of us don't first need another cardigan, cream, or procedure. We need a reunion with ourselves. Sorry, I'm getting way ahead of you. Clicking this and I didn't even realize it. So now, you're rushing out the door in the morning, you are exhausted from decision fatigue, and one of 2 things happened. You either dress to hide and shrink like I did, or you just don't feel great. You settled for meh. Anybody seen the Emoji Movie with meh? Yeah. Do you think that you are doing your best work when you feel meh? Probably not. You see, this isn't just a closet problem. This impacts your income. Because you go to work and you're feeling meh, you're just not putting out the same effort. Or, worse, you go into a meeting, you have a brilliant idea to share, but do you think you're going to share it when you dress to shrink and hide? I didn't. Probably not. Actually, this is a multiple choice. The answer is no. But and I have science to tell you why. But before I tell you the science, I'm going to tell you how this showed up in your everyday life. Who in here played sports growing up? Or maybe you still do. Cool. Me too. I played a lot of sports. I was average at all of them. There was a summer that I grew 7 inches in high school. Wow. Now, I was really awkward. Like, my brain and my body hadn't quite caught up, and it was not cool. And I grew so much that my coach moved me positions on the team. So needless to say, I walk out to my first game that season, and I'm not feeling very good about myself. But being the person that I am, and the fact that I've always leaned into loud, quirky fashion to cover up my insecurities, I had these knee-high, bold socks that were striped all the way down in my team colors. Thought maybe they won't notice how bad I am if they're looking at my socks. Guess what, though? I went out and I crushed that game. Had one of the best games I'd ever played. And being the rational human that I obviously am, I knew it was because of my new lucky socks. It had nothing to do with the hard work or my talent. It was the socks. Have you ever had an item that just made you feel better when you put it on? Maybe you bought something new for a special occasion because you knew it would make you feel better. The science behind this is called Enclothed Cognition. And in a well-known experiment by psychologists Adam and Galinsky, they found that what you wear actually influences your attention, your performance, your confidence, and your behavior. Graveyard. Wearing the blazer, for instance, doesn't actually make you more talented, right? But it activates an identity in your brain on what you believe that blazer represents. The unconscious meaning behind your clothes can reinforce, amplify, or contradict how you feel about yourself. Clothes are such a powerful tool, but often we are not taught how to use them, and we're too afraid to try because we don't like ourselves first. Every single morning, whether you like it or not, your outfit sends 2 messages. One to yourself, like we just talked about, and one to the outside world. Which brings me to the harder part of this conversation, ladies. It's an ugly truth. Your image absolutely has a revenue stream. Appearance matters. And it's not because it should, but it does. And I'm going to take you back to that brain science for a second. It's not because people are actually trying to be mean and judgmental most of the time. It's because our brains are hardwired to look at images, to intake information, to assess, and to assume. That's how we have survived thousands of years. So we're just doing it on a loop, subconsciously, whether you like it or not. It's biology. Research repeatedly identified what economists call the beauty premium. Now, I hate this term, and I hate that I have to use it, but oddly enough, they didn't ask my opinion when they named it. So, we're gonna talk about why it's not really beauty, but it is image related, okay? The beauty premium is proof that advantages compound over time, influencing both salary growth and access to more prestigious positions. When an individual is perceived as more polished, they earn more over their careers. This has been studied by countless economists for decades. It has been studied by Oxford, Stanford, Harvard, decade after decade. The numbers might fluctuate, but the data is always the same. And if you think it changed after COVID, it did not. That's a lie we tell ourselves because we like comfortable clothes. But Harvard Business Review, in their most recent study, highlighted estimates suggesting the earning gap between someone perceived as well put together compared to someone perceived as less presentable can exceed $230,000 in your career. It's not pocket change. That's a big shift in your retirement, right, Kim?
Yes.
Now, again, before you think, you go home and think I told you you need to become more pretty. That's not what I'm saying. That's the trap. That's what they want you to believe. The beauty industry says, see, you gotta be prettier, go buy something. I'm telling you, I hear the data and say it's time to stop hiding who you already are. You've already got the skills, the competence, the brilliance. You just need to show up as such and believe it. The opportunity isn't created by becoming prettier, because logically, everyone in this room knows pretty is subjective bullshit that is as fickle as our Georgia weather. Right? Yes. The opportunity is created by becoming more visible. Remember that ripple effect we talk about? And to become more visible, you have to believe you're worth it and show up as such. It starts in your head and your heart, and it gets reflected outwardly through things like your clothes, your posture, your eye contact. Research has consistently shown that confidence influences how people perceive overall leadership, competence, credibility, and influence. So I want to tell you a quick story about a client of mine. We're going to call her Marge in this scenario. Marge has actually been with me since before I had a business, so bless her. She's been through a lot. But Marge is a chemist at a nuclear facility, and that's exactly what you think it is. She is one of the most intelligent humans I have ever met in my life, and you want her to be. And the first half of Marge's career, she was in a lab doing chemistry things. I don't really know much more than that. And somewhere down the road, her brilliance outshined her team, and she got offered a promotion. Until she found out that promotion required her to lead meetings with the team. That voice in her head showed up. That makes me really visible. She was already the only woman in the industry. Nobody was going to take her seriously, she was sure of it. But she powered through. She started believing in herself a little bit more, and a couple years down the road, she got offered another promotion. This one required even more visibility. This is about the time that I got to meet Marge, and we got to work on not becoming more pretty, but understanding how you can use your clothes as a tool to feel empowered, and how you can work on your self-image to build more confidence, because you already have everything you need. People were responding to her certainty, her congruence, and her self-trust. Guess what Marge is doing today? She's now leading meetings with senators. She's being flown around the world to meet with other world leaders to talk about budget, safety protocol for the nuclear industry. She's amazing. But she had to believe she was worth it and show up as such. People are responding to what your presence communicates. They are responding to when you appear comfortable in your own skin, that you're more capable, you're more trustworthy, more leadership-oriented, and more influential, ladies. Now, don't get this twisted. You go build more confidence, which I hope all of us do, and you show up as such, using your clothes as a very powerful tool, doesn't automatically get you a promotion. You do have to have the skills and the competence and the character, right? But if nobody notices you, nobody hears you, and nobody remembers you, those qualities don't get the same opportunity to shine. That is the cost of the identity gap. That moment. Your beauty is not the answer. answer. It's your visibility, and it's why I am so passionate about my work. My work is not about making you prettier or putting you in a trendier outfit. It's about helping you become more visible and to believe you are worth that. You'll do the rest on your own. And then you're choosing your beauty products and your procedures and your clothes from a place of self-love and not shame. And that's the difference. You see, when you feel disconnected and you move to alignment, these things organically start to happen. You go from shrinking to being willing to be seen, to staying quiet, to being more willing to speak up, to avoid the spotlight, willing to lead, and the big one, ladies, at the very bottom, you stop second-guessing your worth and asking for what you're worth. Anybody ever struggled with that one? I have. The cost of the identity gap. Confidence changes your behavior. Behaviors change your opportunities, not beauty. Your worth is never negotiable. I want you to say that out loud with me. Your worth is never negotiable, okay? Not before the wrinkles, not after the wrinkles, not 10 pounds ago, not 20 pounds from now. Never. And when you start believing that and work on closing that identity gap, your confidence shifts. Your visibility changes with it, and guess what? Opportunities open up. Not because you became someone new, because you stopped hiding who you already are. And I've had enough conversations with enough women in this room to know that this room is filled with brilliant, capable, strong women building incredible things. So, I want to do a quick activity. I've got just enough time. Just to reiterate this ripple effect. Remember, we're starting with body image. That bleeds into your style confidence. The rest of it opens up. More visibility, more opportunity, ultimately impacting your income. So, I want you guys to think of, this is an activity I do with all of my clients in a much more in-depth thing, but for the sake of time, we're gonna do it very quickly. I want you to think of 3 words that describe you today. No negatives. They can be neutral or positive, but absolutely no negatives. Not who you want to be in 2 years, not who you were 5 years ago, not who you think you're supposed to be, but 3 words that actually identify who you are today. For example, my 3 words are polished, intentional, dramatic. Yours could be grounded, whimsical, creative. It doesn't matter. They're your 3 words and they get to mean whatever you want them to mean. Now, you guys got your 3 words? If you feel safe in this room, I'm going to invite you to close your eyes for just a moment. And I want you to envision yourself walking into your current closet. And when you go into your current closet and you scan the walls, top to bottom, left to right, do you see your 3 words? Or do you see somebody else entirely? That might be your identity gap. Do you see polished, intentional, and dramatic up here? So, the final challenge with that is how do we close the identity gap? It's practice. It's not a quick fix. It's an intentional daily practice. And here's what I want you to start doing tomorrow morning. When you go to that mirror and you immediately start down that list of flaws that you think you have, I want you to stop yourself and take a deep breath. And then I want you to give yourself 1 compliment, full stop. If you can come up with more, great, but at least 1. And I want you to hold that compliment really tight up here, because it's gonna take a minute, and then you're gonna rock into your closet, and you're gonna look at your clothes. Don't you dare ask, what should I wear today? Instead, I want you to ask, who am I today? Think of your 3 words and get dressed for her. It shifts. You're choosing clothes for you, not for who you think the world needs you to be. And that changes your confidence. The goal was never a prettier outfit, ladies. The goal is creating a life where your reflection is not a negotiation of your value. and your wardrobe is not the enemy. Because your image isn't vanity, and it's not irrelevant, it's visibility, and evidence that you are absolutely worth it, and I truly believe you are. Thank you so much. So,